My name is Lisa Shea, and today we're going to talk about how to set up a document in the Google Drive system so that people can comment and offer you suggestions and ideas on it. I use this in a number of the writing groups that I run, and the benefit of doing this is that people from all over the place can read your document and then leave you comments and suggestions without changing your actual document. And you could always, delete the document or change the access to the document or have all of those other kinds of things. You always have full control over how your document is on the web. But this is a great way to, for example, put up a first chapter or put up a short story and then have people chime in and let you know what their thoughts and ideas are on it. So the way that we get started is we go to drive.google.com. So in this case, it's showing me a list of my accounts and it asks which one I want to log into. If you don't have an account on Google, then you would create one. It's completely free. If you're in my group and you want to do a document and have people review and you really don't want to have a Google account for some sort of a reason, then you can talk to me and I'll help you set up one that I have access to and that it doesn't have to have your personal information. But in general, it's better for each writer to have their own account so that they get the feedback messages and all that other kind of stuff. So I'm going to log into one of my accounts. All right, so now I am logged into my account and I am seeing the various documents that I have that I've been working with over time. And I'm going to now make a new document so you can see step by step how to put a new document into the system and then how to set its access levels. So to begin with, on the top left, there's going to be a plus sign and a new button. So we're going to click on this plus sign new. And it's going to say, what do you want to do a new entry for? And we're going to do a new Google Doc. This is like a Word doc or a WordPress, or there's all sorts of other kinds of ways that people write documents. But in the Google, it's called a Google Doc. So we're going to click on this Google Docs entry. So now we're placed into a completely empty file. It has a couple little prompty things here. You can just ignore them. So the first thing we're going to do when we're in this nice new empty file is up in the top left is an area that says untitled document. This is where the title goes. And you want to put something in here so when people land on this document, they remember where they are, because maybe they're helping 80 different authors with 80 different things, and it's good to help them keep track of what they're doing. So in here, we're going to start with Lisa Shea, and we'll put horror story number 30. So you just want some sort of a title, and you'll see it shows up not only here in this title area, but also in the top bar. So it's a way to help people when they make bookmarks and other things to keep track of what they're working on. It's also good at the top of your actual document here in the meat of the document area to also put your name, Lisa Shea, horror story number 30, and warning has a few swears, but no gory situations. So it's good to put some sort of text at the top of your document so that people who land on it, again, remember where they are, who the person is, what the story is about, and if there's any sort of warnings you want to give them up front about the kind of content they're about to read. So next you want to have the content that they're actually going to be reading and commenting on. Now you could just type it in here and say 7 years ago our fathers blah 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 blah. But most people are writing their documents in some other kind of system in Word or WordPress or wherever they are that they're writing it. And it's easier just to cut and paste their content into this document. So you won't be able to see the cut and paste process because of the way that this recording system works. But what I'm going to do is go over into Word and I'm going to open up my document in Word. I'm going to highlight the area that I want to bring into here. And then all I have to do is edit copy or Control C. Click back over into this Google document and I can do either edit paste or I can do Control V, which just happens to be faster, and it plunked it right in. So depending on what you want people to read, you would plunk in, a chapter or 2 chapters. I generally recommend people don't plunk in the entire story, at least to begin with, because people tend to be busy. And if you put in a 300-page story and say, please read my 300-page story, give me comments, a lot of people are just going to balk and say, I don't have that much time. I can't even get started on that process. But if you just put in the first prologue or the first chapter and say, please help me with this first chapter so I can know if it's going to hook people enough, then people are likely to say, all right, I can read the first chapter. And then hopefully if you hook them, they'll say, oh, can you send me the rest of it? So you want to lure them into the process. Start small and then work your way up. So in this case, since it's a horror short story, I would actually normally paste the entire story in. I'm just doing a little test for you guys to see. So let's say that this is all I wanted them to read. I just wanted them to read the beginning of the story and give me some feedback on it. So if this is now the complete document in terms of what I want them to read, my next step is to help share it with them. So to share a document, in the top right of the screen is a blue share button, and it currently has a lock symbol. It is private to me only. So I'm going to click on that, and it says, right now only I have access. And I'm going to change the access to other people to anyone who has the link. And that way I can send the link for this out to anyone that I need to, and they'll be able to read it. Right now the access is set to viewer. There's this button here that I can copy the link. The link is up here in this top menu bar. So either way, I can send that link to people and anyone will be able to read it, but not do anything else. So the next thing I want to do is over here on the right is I want to say that everyone can comment. They won't be able to edit anything or change anything, but they'll all be able to comment and leave little notes about I like this section or I don't like that section. And that's the kind of feedback in general that you're looking for as an author. So I'm going to click on done. So at this point, this story right here, I could send the link to anyone in the world. And once they get that link, they'll be able to click on it and they'll be able to leave me comments. So how does a person leave a comment? So let's say that someone liked this phrase, I must have had an angel watching over me. All they have to do is select it with their mouse and then click this little add comment button, which pops up right next to it, and say, this is a neat phrase, or whatever they want to say, and click comment. So as writers come in and read your piece and have different sections that they like, they'll select different pieces, they'll pop up little comments. You can respond to them if you want, you can delete their comments, you can watch as people respond back and forth to each other's comments. So it's a great way to get feedback and to have people be able to tell you exactly what sections they like, or if they spot a typo, exactly what section has a typo in it, or all of that sort of thing. Let's take a look at the other options in here. So we'll go into the share mode again. We got the little settings button in here. If you chose to give someone editor permission, which means they could actually make changes, then you can have an option in here so that an editor could also share it with people and change permissions for people. And you also have an option that says viewers and commenters can download, print, and copy your document. You could turn that on and off. On one hand, you could turn it off, but on the other hand, if someone sees something on their screen and they really want to print it, they can just hit the print screen button. So I wouldn't worry too much about any of this sort of thing. Just leave them at their default setting. Your main purpose here is to have your friends or fellow writing people read out a piece of something that you are sharing with them and to give you comments and feedback on it. So at this point, we have this story that is being sent out to friends and family or whoever you want to have the comments. It is set so that people can comment. And as the author, you will see all of these comments line up here. Let's see, Matt's son, we could just add another one to do a test. Is he a son? So, you can see the whole comment stream will just start adding up over here on the right-hand side. And if you decide you want to change the settings, you could just go back into that share option again, and you could just restrict it again. So you always have the option to share it or not share it, to have it live, to not have it live. Under the file menu, you can print things, you can share things there, you can download a copy if you want to, you can rename it, you can toss it into your trash can. So you have full control over this thing that you've put up in Google Docs that you are making available to other people to comment on. So let me know if you have any questions about the process of creating a empty Google Doc, about putting a title into the title field, about putting content into the main body of the document, and about setting up the share functionality so that you can then share it with people so that they can make comments on it and help you move your project forward. I hope that you have great luck with your writing projects.